A year that was supposed to be all about rebuilding and finding out who were your football fixtures for the future in Foxborough seems like it has already come off the rails just 4 games in, following a gauntlet of a September in which the Patriots went 1-3, but didn't show us that they could do much more but play defense if they were healthy and not advance the ball down the field. It feels as though with the injuries they've suffered this week and their inability to create depth at multiple positions, that the season might already be over. My word, what excitement is building as two of the worst offenses in the NFL face off this Sunday in the Patriots' second home game of the 2024 season. But we do want to wish everybody a very happy Rosh Hashanah here on the latest and greatest Six Rings and Football Things podcast with your old pals, Nick Fitzy Stevens from the Six Rings postgame show and occasionally the WEEI evening program, as well as one of the stalwarts. It's like he's like a stalemate. He always gets
stalewart.
So he gets into stalemates and he's a stalwart. So I'm calling him a stalwart. That's right. The one and only Andy Hart from the WEEI afternoon show. Here on today's Mega.
Well, I am a fun guy, so I am a wart.
Just give him 5 seconds while I table set for everybody. He loves when I do that.
That was
it's
good.
Like an around the horn thing. It was bad. On today's program, we've got our preview and prediction of Patriots and Dolphins this Sunday, 1 o'clock from Gillette Stadium. Brissett versus Huntley, the matchup everyone's been dying to see. Both teams have injury reports longer than the original copy of On the Road. So it's going to be a fun one for everybody. Let's just say first to 17 wins, if anyone can get to 17.
17? No. First to 7 wins. If you score a touchdown, it's like overtime rules. Let's just play overtime rules. You score a touchdown, the game
ends. Best effing idea I have heard all week, Andrew Hart. First team, overtime rules. First team to score a touchdown wins. Send everyone home happy. Go back to the parking lots. Get on with your Sunday. Rake the leaves. Take the kids out. Apple pick. Whatever the frig you want to do. So we're also just want to say, let everyone know we're also going to have our pal Mego did her job this week. She went down to the stadium and the On the Beat portion of our preview podcast. She spoke with Chad Graff from The Athletic. Chad does an excellent job covering the Patriots in the NFL over at The Athletic / used to be New York Times sports section. And last but not least, we will go behind enemy lines and speak with Miami Dolphins fan and podcaster Josh Houts from the Another Dolphins podcast to get an idea of what the hell is going on down by Miami Gardens as to the sorry state of affairs for the Dolphins offense and also what they think of the Patriots. And, here we go. Here's our first comment. First to 17. Are you supplying food, drink, and medical care as everyone in the stands waits for that to happen?
Yeah, I can't believe you said 17. What are you thinking? Like, bring it down a notch. Okay.
Way too optimistic.
In all honesty, though, because there are times in sports, I mean, a lot of times when we think something is going to be something, it ends up being that something. But then every once in a while, everybody thinks, oh, we're going to get this dog of a game, no scoring. Neither of these teams can score touchdowns. It's journeyman backup versus journeyman back, the whole thing. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait, how are we in the late second quarter and it's 21-21 or something? Is there any chance?
Yes.
Any chance that this turns into some like weird shootout?
Three honest reasons how and why it could. Number one, because NFL 2024 is drunk and needed to be put in a rideshare weeks ago. So unpredictable. Dogs are killing it against the spread and even outright this season as well. And for God's sakes, the New England Patriots with their 31st offense in yards and 30th in yards, 31st in points, 32nd overall. They are the worst offense in the NFL with the Dolphins nipping at their heels. They have no business being a 1.5 point favorite over anyone. So yes, why not? 2, the chaos theory, which kind of like dovetails off of reason number 1. And number 3, both teams are so freaking banged up. Like the Pats may not have, we know David Andrews is gone for the year. Kyle Duggar isn't practicing. Jabril Peppers isn't practicing. You're going to probably start Jamontre Jacobs again. So a strip 6 is easily on the table, though thank God Jalen Phillips, their best pass rusher, isn't practicing right now. And Jordan Poyer hasn't practiced either. We'll see exactly what happens as the week progresses as far as the injury report. But both teams may be starting like UFL guys this week. Like this is going to be a borderline, like, D1 type of game. Like put it this way. I'd make Georgia a 2.5 point favorite over either of these teams.
Agreed, because these teams stink right now, and it was expected from the Patriots. It was unexpected from Miami, and I would even argue unexpected from Miami, even with the Tua injury. Mike McDaniel's supposed to be one of these offensive geniuses. Oh, I can run the ball regardless of what's going on. We have scheme. We're from the Shanahan tree. They can't run the ball, and
Mm-mm.
they're playing ugly football. They can't put
Mhm.
the football in the end zone. They have
Nope.
4 touchdowns total. They've scored less points than the Patriots. They are a bad offense to the point where I didn't even know this. Apparently, there's like rumblings and rumors that Tyreek Hill should or could get traded back to the Chiefs, and he wants out. And now
Mhm.
he shot those down, and he has had comments on the record saying otherwise. But
That's
that's
exactly what someone says before they get traded, though.
yeah, kind of. Yeah, you're probably right. But I look at and then you start to break down the stats, and I haven't watched a ton of Dolphins. I watched the Bills game when the Bills just absolutely rolled them. Josh Allen got hot early, cruised to victory. But if you break down their numbers, they are my dog's having a dream behind me if you hear any
Even
weird moaning or
even your
groaning.
dog is imagining what it's going to be like to be trapped in front of a television watching Dolphins. Let me ask you this, Andy. Whoever wins, is it because both teams are so banged up, have no hope on the season, regardless of whether Tua comes back or not? Hashtag please don't. Uh, is this just going to be a fool's gold win for whoever
Somebody.
wins the game? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, I mean, big picture, we've talked a little bit about this. If the Patriots were a little better, you'd be like, well, we might not finish last in the East. We can beat the Dolphins and finish in third place. And who knows, whatever. This is what are we, a basement bowl? Ross Tucker called it the basement bowl. He did the Dolphins game a couple weeks ago. He's doing the, Patriots. Yeah. So he's like basement bowl. I don't disagree with him. These teams are the 2 worst teams in the division, and neither team certainly has much hope right now. I do think the Patriots are in a better spot because at least our offensive coach isn't a genius who's not a genius anymore. We still just have our normal doubts about Alex Van Pelt and Gerard Mayo and company. And also, they have a quarterback who may never play again, who they gave a $212 million contract to this offseason. So there's financial ramifications for them. I
Mhm.
just, you dig into the numbers even more, and it's like Dolphins games, they can't run the ball.
Nope.
The other team doesn't really run the ball that well. They
Nope.
can't really pass the ball. The other
Nope.
team hasn't like put up great numbers in the passing game. Their
Nope.
third down numbers aren't good. Like neither team is moving it. Like it's kind of like bad football games that they've been playing, and I kind of expect that will continue in this game. And
The
that's
Titans
why
ran roughshod all over them Monday night, Andy. Like that was a
well,
lopsided game.
yeah, to some degree. And the only thing I would say is the Patriots tackling, the up and down issue we've talked about, married up with Waddle and Hill. If I'm Mike McDaniel, F anything else, let's just
Mhm.
get the ball to Hill and Waddle 15 times each and say it only is going to take 1 missed tackle for them to go 80 yards. Like those are, I'm sorry, like just get the ball to your 2 best. They're going to be the 2 best, fastest athletes on the field. Get them to those guys in space and cross your fingers. I don't need like extensive game planning or anything. This is as Joe Biller says, high school football. And in high school football, how do you win? You get the ball to your best athletes and let them
Mhm.
do their thing and say you're the best athlete on. And if I'm Mike McDaniel, Waddle, Hill, here's the
Waddle over
ball.
here, Hill over
Yep,
there, Jalen Wright over here,
just let them
HN
run.
that way. Just like literally every end around RPO, lateral pass,
Yep,
trickeration play. Just put your studs in space and go from there. And that's the thing. They have some. The best offensive player for the Patriots is likely not to see the field or will see limited action probably at best this weekend because every time he touches, it's a fumble, or at least 4 times this season with 2 of them lost. So hope everyone has Antonio Gibson futures this Sunday. Might be a good time to cash them.
That brings up a question for me that I was posing in my brain yesterday, both league wide and Patriots history.
Great place to start questions. Go ahead.
Yeah, in my brain when
Mhm.
I'm either pooping or showering, either the clean end or the dirty end, it comes
At
out.
no point did I need context. The brain part was more than enough, but thank you.
When was the last time for either an NFL team or even in New England? And I have an idea for the New England answer that fans, you people,
Mhm.
didn't want the starting quarterback or the running back to start. Because I feel like right now people don't want Jacoby Brissett to be the starting quarterback, and they don't really want Ramondre the Fumbler Stevenson. Terrible superhero nickname, the Fumbler, the villain, the Fumbler.
It's the word. Gotham won't be safe until we rid it of the Fumbler.
But when was the last time you didn't want either guy who plays two of the more important positions, certainly for this team, to play? And the time I posed, I'm wondering, was back in was it 99 probably, when Kevin Falk was having fumbling issues and Drew Bledsoe was like on the cusp of, is Drew really great? Do we really want Drew? Is Michael Bishop going to play, like in that era? But that's how low it's gone, is you don't really want your starting quarterback and your starting running back to play. And that is a sad commentary on the entertainment value and overall value of this offense right now.
Yeah, speaking of our pal Los Talks Pats checks in. I might have to do solo tequila shots on Sunday if the Patriots lose to Pro Bowl QB Snoop Huntley. That's a fact. Just like Mac Jones was a Pro Bowl quarterback as well.
No. This is worse. Snoop Huntley, I believe, in the year that he made the Pro Bowl, had more interceptions than touchdowns.
No, he threw 3 touchdowns and had 2 picks. I think it was a 3-2 ratio. I think it was.
I thought it was the inverse. I thought it was.
It may have been, but that's how desperate the NFL was, and that's how nobody gives a flip about the Pro Bowl. On the subject of, do you want to start Drake May or not? We heard from Gronk last week. We heard from Greg Olsen. We've heard from so many national voices. Here's another one with regional ties as well. James White, who on the Money Down podcast, I believe he was a part of every week, talked about the grim reality of what would happen if you put in Drake May behind this bull line.
Get in there trying to, pick apart, Jacoby, find all the clips where they think somebody's running open and all that. Yeah, I'm sure Jacoby missed some throws. I'm sure he scrambled when, he probably shouldn't have on some of that. But that's what happens when ain't nobody blocking up front. You don't trust it. Your eyes be in the wrong place every now and then. Y'all think you're going to throw a rookie out there, and he just going to go out there and shred it up and handle business? I don't think so. Your best offensive lineman, David Andrews, got hurt, like the first quarter, second quarter of the game. So that's tough. Your backup center playing with a lot of backups on, up front, man. I don't see why anybody's trying to say Drake May needs to go out there and play. It's too much going on.
All right. Well,
we continue with the disrespect. Somehow, as a human being, Drake May is more valuable than Jacoby Brissett. We'll just throw him out to be the crash test dummy, and who cares if he gets hurt and gets beat up? And very disappointed in you, James White. Very disappointed.
Well, see, that's the thing. This poor guy, eventually he's going to show up in the studio on a Monday with you guys because he refuses to phone in. He's a gentleman of principle. He comes in there and he faces the music. And by the music, I mean you and Arcand.
Hey, giving him questions and asking, giving him the business.
Is that your Arcand?
It's half Harrison Ford, half Arcand. I call it Harcand. He's going to be like the guy, like come in a wheelchair with 2 arms and cast raised. And he'll be like, no, I'll be out there on Sunday. And the Pats very well might wheel him out there on Sunday. Andy, why not if you're the Patriots at this point? You're not going anywhere. I don't want to get Drake May myrtleized as much as the next fan who has to cover this team, let alone root for them and try to grow young Patriots fans in my own household anytime soon. But can we at least just say the hell with the running game? We're going to just throw some. Here you go. Find a way to get it to Baker. Find a way to get it to Polk, who's got great separation rates. Do something with Booty. I don't care. Anything.
I like to do something with Booty.
Should I mute him?
Come on, we gotta have fun.
That's what I'm saying.
The team isn't fun, so we need to organically create our own.
It is as unfun as it gets.
I'd
rather my porch get visited by Rashee Rice's mom than have to watch another Patriots game at this point.
Just when you think the world can't get more ridiculous.
Honest to God, you're wearing a jersey that says I'm this injured NFL player's mom and you're a porch pirate. Unbelievable.
You could have just put your address on the jersey and made it even that much easier. What are we doing?
Yes. Oh, God. The Globe sends out, the Boston Globe, our friends over there, do a daily Patriots rundown email with all of their headlines, blogitude, articles, podcasts, etc. This morning, all that came into my Gmail was Boston Globe, the Patriots, a mess. That's it. There's no other way to summate where the Patriots are and what's going on right now other than they are a complete mess. But the good news is at least Nick Folk got Special Teams Player of the Week in the AFC for hitting
Kicking
all
bombs.
five field goals, including 3 big kick knickers right over the 50-yard marker.
I got some questions. I'm going to be honest with you. All these long field goals, like, did they change the rules on the kicking balls or something in the last year or two? And suddenly, I don't know if they're overinflated, underinflated, whatever. It just feels like suddenly 50 is nothing. 60 is, yeah, let's try it. Like, there's just this weird, did kickers' legs get better? Is the technique taken that? I know this is not really the place for that, the preview of this game, but he kind of is because Joey Sly just set a franchise record last week.
Right.
So,
and then got drug tested. A 54-yarder that was inconsequential in the face of a 63-yarder. People are banging long field goals in. There was a great discussion.
Banging in the streets.
We're going to eventually, our heads are falling off, and then they're eating the rest of them. It's a brutal scene.
Yeah, Pete the Animal Austin. I agree. Like, it's almost like they're filling the balls with helium, or something has changed that is allowing an extra 10 yards for everybody.
These guys are just these guys. Joey Sly can like 500 pounds.
No, Nick Folk was supposedly done when he got here in New England.
No, that was warm. That was warm, humid Miami air, the optimal conditions for a ball carrying. No, that home runs would have been flying out of the park on the same night.
Consistently hit 50-yard field goals for the last couple of years. And all you people told me when he arrived here, he could only hit 40-yard field goals.
It's a lot harder in cold, swirling November weather in New England. It's
That's
the year of the kicker.
Year ever on the Chinese calendar. Nobody wants the year of the kicker. Give me the dragon, the snake, the lion.
I know. It's the year of the bowl. I don't care. My God.
It's
brutal. All right. Well, let's off. We got a lot more to get to in this podcast. Once again, Megan Onalini has a nice little football chat with Chad Graff from The Atlantic. And of course, we'll get to our chat with Josh Houts from another Dolphins podcast. Yes, that is actually the name of the pod. We're going to be on Sunday. There'll be no halftime show. So you guys will just have to hold up all that frustration, all your cheap shots, all your texts, all your calls.
So I can swear the post-game show, right?
No, it's on FM radio.
You know you can't say piss.
Yeah, no, you can't. No, you can, like the actual object itself. You can piss someone off.
I got on the wrist yesterday for saying piss.
For saying, yeah.
Boy, was I pissed afterwards.
Couldn't give a squirt of piss about this game. See, that would have gotten me kicked off the FM air, but because this is a podcast, I can say it.
So if Snoop Huntley pisses down his own leg on Sunday, the Patriots might win?
You'd have to say pees down his own leg Sunday, but yes. Does Snoop Huntley do anything else?
All right, here craps his pants.
All right, we have I definitely want to put an end to this one and just carry on with the pod. All right, so we have a point total of 36.5. The Pats are favored for the first time this year at 1.5 points. Andy, what do you got for a score?
Well, I enjoyed the line this week when Vegas watched the Patriots suck on Sunday and made the Dolphins, I believe, a 2.5 or a 3-point favorite.
3.5 point favorite, yeah.
Then watch the Dolphins suck on Monday, and we're like, whoa, got to make the Patriots because recency bias of suckiness tells me that the Patriots are the better team. What a debacle this game is. So therefore, I will go with Patriots 3, Dolphins 2. We are all losers.
So once again, Andy Hart's prediction for a score on Sunday: Red Sox 3, Marlins 2.
Pretty much.
Holy God! You know what?
This is how far we've fallen.
I would check my Fan Kings or my Draft Duel and see what the odds are on that, and I'd probably put some beer and pizza money on that as well, because it's just as likely as my prediction for a score. Joey Sly back on the prowl. We are 1 field goal better on this given Sunday with lovely conditions in Foxborough. Give me Patriots 16, Dolphins 13. So I will take the Patriots covering the 1.5 points and the under as well. Let's feed some families. Let's make some holiday money for the good people in Patriots Nation on Sunday. Let's see. Any final comments? Okay. Actually, no, here's a great question. And I'm sure, Joey, thank you very much, Los. Joey Sly is responsible for 28 of the Patriots' 36 points on the season. That's wonderful. My God. Good point, Los. He's basically scoring 3/4 of our points. Kenny Tasney with a final question before we throw it to the Dolphin side of things in Mego's chat with Chad Graff. If they beat the Dolphins, does it relieve the pressure on Mayo and Wolf?
In a minimal sense. I mean, the pressure is going to continue to build if you believe they are inept. I mean, they were honest. They told us this was a multi-year rebuild. So I don't. the pressure is wins help pressure and losses build pressure. Like that's
Mhm.
just the reality of professional sports, the NFL. 4-3. I like that, Wayne. Yeah, could they use a win? Absolutely. But people aren't going to give them that much credit for it. People think both teams stink. Like there's no poops will be given, really. And if they lose and embarrass themselves, that will be bad because people do think the Dolphins stink. So if the Dolphins suddenly put up 28 points and find the end zone 4 times, that's going to be problematic for Gerard Mayo, DeMarcus Covington in the defense.
Yeah, there is a scenario like people expect the Patriots to squeak out a low-scoring affair against the Dolphins. If the Dolphins' offense is rekindled, ignited once again, and they score 20 plus, there is a chance. I'm not saying that the "we want May" chants will break out, but don't be surprised if the 47,000 people that show up. What is your prediction for attendance on Sunday? I've been hearing way too many things. Yes, I know I'm the jackass on the Jumbotron. I try to be as Pat's positive as possible, but I've been hearing from way too many fans already that they're giving tickets away, not sure if they're going to go, selling tickets off.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be good. I think you're hopeful of 50,000 people. I think if you can get 50,000, you're happy. And
you know what? I'm going to check the secondary market before we wrap up and throw it to
it's not as low as you'd think, I don't believe.
Not yet? Okay.
Last I'd heard, there were still ask prices, and I think the cheapest get-in was still like $80 or $90.
All right. As of now, just a couple days away. All right, let's say I'm looking for 2 tickets. Oh, $77.
Yeah, so it's dropping. I think it came down from 90 to 80, and it will continue to drop over the next day or so. As you get closer, obviously, and people trying to get their money back. I think 50, if you get 50,000, that's probably a good number, especially if the weather is decent. And I believe the weather is going to be decent. I think people will say, yeah, I'd rather go do, I don't know, a nice Sunday afternoon of almost anything else: pumpkins, apples, boat, beach, kayak, whatever, fire.
I don't even enjoy watching keep going. It all sounds more
Anything.
fun. Anything.
Outdoor.
I'm not even really enjoying watching the rest. Jeez.
What?
Now what's happening is with your fancy afternoon show, this is where you come to get out all the dirty thoughts.
I do.
I have to. I have to say elsewhere.
Dump it all here because they'll dump it there.
Jeez. Honest to God. I'm not even enjoying watching the rest of the NFL that much because it doesn't even like what kind of football the Patriots have been playing is so different from so different from what I'm used to. So different from what we know would be productive or positive. So unlike even the halfway decentish teams, let alone the best teams, that it's just not even, it feels like a different game. I feel like I have to recalibrate expectations so much.
Like the Commanders, where they have a quarterback who's setting records for completing 80% of his passes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That rookie.
Yeah.
I went 1 pick ahead of Drake May.
Oh, yeah. Thanks a lot, Chad Ryland. Enjoy life on the practice squad in Arizona.
Yeah, he's back in the NFL, baby.
All right. That'll do for our preview and prediction portion of the podcast. Well done, Nick Stevens. They're getting all that alliteration action out. Fitzy can go. That's Andy Hart from the Afternoon Show on WEEI. I'm your old pal, Nick Fitzy Stevens from the Six Rings postgame show. I'll be on tonight with Chris Scheim from 6 to 7:30. Should you be watching live across the WEEI or Fitzy GFY socials? If not, thank you for tuning into and subscribing to the best Pats podcast in all the land. Six Rings and football things brought to you by WEEI Odyssey and 2400 Sports. We will now throw it to my conversation with Josh Houts from Another Dolphins podcast and wrap it up with Mego speaking with Chad Graff from The Athletic. Good day. God bless. Happy Rosh Hashanah.